You out there are Stadia players. So Google announced 4 games, actually 5 games that they're making available for Pro members in June. SUPERHOT, Get Packed, Little Nightmare, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, and Panzer Dragoon Remake. So in this video, I'm actually going to review Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. I decided I wanted to go ahead and take this time to actually show a little game footage and do some reviews for some Stadia games. There are a lot of people who have opinions of Stadia out there, and I understand some of them are not so negative, or some of them not so good, some of them negative. But I want to give you, those out there who want to pick up Stadia, an opportunity to see for yourself. Is this for you? Not so much having someone tell you, yes, pick this up, and no, pick it up. This is garbage or anything like that. Stadia do have some issues, but it is continuing to get better. One thing I will go ahead and continue to point out that I think several people have had issues with, and even I had issues with this, is that sometimes you will have a situation where it seems like it takes a while to get going. And they say it's once in a blue moon, but when it happens, it is frustrating. And I compared it to like priming a lawnmower. You're sitting there priming, you're pulling the cord, and every time you're yelling and screaming, you swear that you're done with this. I'm never going to mess with Stadia again. This is why this continues to not be where it's at. But once you get going, it's good. You have little to no issues. Every now and then, once in a blue moon, you may see a hiccup or a little graphics kind of degradation, but it clears itself up and it plays fine. I played hours and hours of gameplay of Power Rangers Battle for the Grid and testing this out. And like I said, other than that one issue where I could not get connected to the network, it took like 5 minutes to get back up. But once I got back up, I was good. And again, this wasn't like a situation where it kept kicking me off. Now, I played for hours and hours, and out of nowhere, it stopped. And like I said, it took 5 minutes to get me back on. Once I was back on, I was good for hours on end. And I played some again the next day without any issues. So this is some of the issues that sometimes you will, as a Stadia player, encounter. But I don't think it's enough for me to keep me from picking this up or even suggesting to someone. In fact, I think if Google ever figure that out and get that part fixed, I think Stadia would be right where it needs to be and can really truly compete, in my opinion, with some of the bigger boys out there. But let's talk about the game, and that's Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Now, the reason why, like I said, again, I decided to pick this up just to play it around because this is one of the free pro games, and I decided I want to go ahead and try to jump on some of these free pro games, play around with them, and give my reviews and opinions on it, and let you know this is something that you should check out. So this game is basically a fighting game. Now, unlike Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, where it requires you understand certain inputs, you got to be more of I don't say pro, but it requires some level of skill. I consider this more like a button masher. You really don't need to put any special inputs to do special moves or anything like that. It's a matter of just pushing buttons and mashing buttons. I literally consider this like a button mashing fighting game. And as far as the overall gameplay, it really plays very similar to X-Men versus Street Fighter, where you have this ability to tag in and out your teammates to do wicked combos, to come in and spell you out, to provide another person jump in and continue to play. And it really provides a different variation and allow for awesome combos and awesome moves that can be done in this. This is basically, if you want to follow the whole gameplay, you got 4 modes here. You got the story mode, you got the arcade mode, you have a tutorial mode, and you have online gameplay. Now, online gameplay, you can actually play cross-play with PlayStation players. Now, I have not got a chance to play around the online gameplay yet, so I cannot tell you how well it performs. But as far as the other mode, I did play around with tutorial, which I wish I would have jumped on that first. In fact, that may be something I may suggest. Jump on tutorial real quick, just long enough to figure out what's going on. And then I think that'll make it much easier for you to play around with. As far as the gameplay, if you decide to check out arcade mode is pretty simple. You jump up on there, it basically allows you to pick your character and get playing. Now, when you buy this game or pick this game up from the Pro Store, for free, I said buy, but you pick it up for free on the Pro Store, you're not going to have several characters. You're going to have a number of characters that is able to be played with, but there are going to be others that you'll have to go and add as an add-on in order to get access to. Now, if you're someone who's looking to play this more seriously, then definitely check out the Stadia Store to add those extra characters. But if you're just looking at something to have fun with and you're okay with these stock characters, I think you'll be fine and you'll be able to get through the game just fine with that. You also definitely have a training mode that will help you kind of, perfect combos and perfect moves and play around with that. And definitely the story mode. Now, as far as the story mode is concerned, this game do not have a sliding scale where you can change the difficulty level. I was actually looking for one. And honestly, I don't think you really need one. Now, to be honest with you, I didn't have any issues getting through the story mode except for maybe a couple characters here and there, or levels here and there that frustrated me enough where I felt like I needed to kind of pause and step away from the game. But I was able to get through the game in pretty much a day's time. There are some things I wish, coming from other fighting games that made its way into the gameplay, such as the ability to mix in a light and medium and hard punch, and same with something like that with a kick where you could change up the combination, stuff like that. But as you continue to play around the game, you understand what this is. It's not really meant to be for someone who is meant to be like a hardcore gamer. I think this game is perfect for family members. And in fact, during the summer break, you got the kids at home, you're looking for something to keep them busy. This may be perfect for them. They can get on and play, and there's not a lot to learn with playing the game. It literally is a button masher. And even going through the story mode, I'm sitting there, like, all right, how did I figure this out? It came down to my best match came from literally mashing buttons. And, by the end of a couple of rounds, I find my fingers pretty much sore and in pain because you literally, when I say mashing buttons, you're doing just that. And like I said, you can get through the story mode pretty simple. I think there was maybe 2 levels, like I said, that really frustrated me. The first one was the level where you played as, I want to say, the Pink Ranger in like a dream sequence. And I just felt like just that character for me was just not a character that works well for me. So I felt kind of like, well, she didn't have enough punches or kicks and something like that. And it made it a little bit more difficult in that character. Then obviously the last character or the boss character at the end, as you can imagine, that's going to definitely be a big challenge. Now, as far as the story mode goes, you're basically following the storyline of, you have a Power Ranger who, went rogue. He's battling for the grid. Basically, Power Rangers battling each other over the course of different time and different realities. So, and like I said, again, if you're someone who is a Power Ranger fan, you grew up in Power Rangers or been following the franchise, especially your kids, they're going to love this. And even if you're someone who's not, you're like, man, like me, I'm not a Power Rangers fan, don't care too much for it. But this is not a bad game for just a mashing fighting game. I really compare this to something that you will be able to play on like your cell phone. It doesn't take a lot of skill to get in and play. You can get through it just fine. You can power the controller on, get in and start playing and have fun with it. And it's not so long of a game where you find yourself just bogged down on trying to get through it. You can have a lot of fun playing around with these characters. And in fact, when you do go to story mode, that is one thing that I would say is kind of a little bit challenging. I can say challenging, but a little different is when you go to the story mode, you're literally in one round playing as the so-called good guy. And after you beat them the next round, you like literally flip sides and now you're the bad guy fighting. So, going through the story mode, that kind of had me like trying to figure out and follow this story, like what's going on here. But again, once I continued to play it alone, I got an idea what was going on. And it added for a little bit of fun and variety. It gave me an opportunity to play as different characters and, understand their different move set and their strengths and their weaknesses. And it really came in handy. And I got to tell you, you play that against a Black Ranger, you look at him and you're like, man, this guy is just pretty much a soldier. And you like, okay, this is someone who should be easy. Yet, for whatever reason, man, when he go back and swing his or he swing his rifle like a bat, it seems to take so much damage, and it at times can get very frustrating when you trying to come in for a high attack or jumping attack, and you get hit with that, and next thing you know, you getting comboed in the corner, and you find yourself frustrated, like, how am I getting beat by this guy? But at the end of the day, I think if you're looking to pick something like this up, especially for the kids, they're gonna be content. And even you jumping on there and playing with them, you're going to enjoy it. And I think this is definitely a good pro game to pick up. For those out there definitely looking for something to play, to keep your mind occupied during this COVID shut-in and with everything still kind of being shut down, some of the theme parks slowly opening back up in some capacity, you still find yourself maybe not being able to travel like you want to, not being able to go to grandma's house like you normally able to, and you're trying to find a way to keep the kids quiet, keep them occupied, this may be a good way and a good addition to add to your Stadia.